Chosen one, listen closely, because this message is not for everyone. If someone is not walking the divine path, if they do not carry the mark of God upon their spirit, they will not understand what I'm about to say. But you, the one who was set apart since birth, you will feel this message pulling you in. You will feel it settling into your soul like something you were meant to hear at this exact moment. You've always known you were different, haven't you? There's been something in you, even from a young age, that set you apart. It wasn't just your dreams or your thoughts, it was your spirit. There was a call on your life before you even understood what it meant. When you look back, you can see how it all started, how the path was already being laid out for you before you even knew where you were headed. It's like something in your heart whispered that you weren't meant to walk the same road as everyone else. You've felt the weight of it, the heaviness of knowing that you weren't just born to blend in. You've probably tried at times to ignore it, to be like everyone else, but deep down, you've always known. The world tried to mold you into what it wanted, but God had other plans. He set you apart, even from the very beginning. You weren't just born by chance, chosen one. You were created with purpose. Your life was intentionally designed by the Creator. He placed a unique calling on your heart before the world ever had the chance to try and shape you. This calling is what makes you different. It's the reason people don't always understand you. It's the reason you felt isolated at times, even among family. God has been marking you for something great since the moment you took your first breath. And this isn't something small, something fleeting. This calling is huge. It's the reason you can't just be ordinary. The dreams you have, the desires that burn within you, the visions that you hold so tightly to, they aren't just random ideas, they're pieces of your destiny. They're pieces of your purpose. From the beginning, God set you on a path that requires you to rise higher than you ever thought possible. It wasn't by accident. It wasn't a mistake. It's all part of His divine plan. This calling isn't easy though. It's a heavy mantle. It's one that will challenge you, refine you, and transform you. But it's a calling that will also shape you into someone who can carry greatness, someone who will lead. And though the road ahead may be difficult, this calling will always be your guide, even in your darkest moments. Now, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Because, as you've just begun to realize, this isn't a simple message. It's a revelation for those who are called, for those who are marked, for those who are born to rise. You're not here by chance, and everything you've experienced so far, the good, the bad, and even the ugly, is part of the divine design. God has not forgotten about you, chosen one. He has been watching over you, preparing you for what's to come. The journey is far from easy, but it's necessary. This is just the beginning of understanding who you are and why you've been placed here on this earth. You've felt it, haven't you? The weight of the vision God has placed in your heart. It's not something you asked for, not something you even sought out. It's been with you since you were young, quietly and persistently drawing you towards something greater. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than anything you could have imagined for yourself. And yet here you are, carrying the seed of something divine. You've been entrusted with a dream that is yours to carry, and as heavy as it feels at times, it's also the very thing that will propel you into your purpose. This dream, this vision is not just a passing thought. It's not an idea that you can take lightly. It's not just something you hold in your heart for fun or because it's a nice idea. This is your destiny. This is the divine plan unfolding in your life, and it's the reason you've been marked. Before you ever knew what your life was supposed to look like, God placed that dream in you, and it's been quietly guiding you ever since. But the weight of that vision, it's something that can feel overwhelming at times. It's the kind of weight that feels like it will crush you if you let it. The kind of weight that isolates you, makes you feel like you're walking alone, like you're different from everyone around you. And yet in the quietest moments, when you truly listen to your spirit, you'll realize that this weight is not a burden. It's a calling. It's an invitation to rise up and become who you were always meant to be. This vision, this dream is so much bigger than you. It's about the generations that will follow. It's about the lives you will touch, the people you will lead, and the world you will change. And you know this, don't you? You know deep in your spirit that this is why you were born, even if your mind can't fully grasp it yet. Even if it feels like everyone around you is oblivious to the depth of what you carry. But here's the truth, chosen. One, most people won't understand it. They won't understand the weight of the vision you carry. They'll see your dreams and dismiss them. They'll tell you to dream smaller, to stop reaching so high, to be more realistic. And for a while, you might second-guess yourself. You might wonder if you're crazy for holding on to a vision that others can't see. You might question if it's all worth it when those closest to you can't even begin to comprehend the depth of what you've been given. But here's something crucial: God didn't give your vision to them. He gave it to you. This vision is your gift, your responsibility. The weight of it is meant to make you lean on Him, not others. It's meant to draw you closer to God, to remind you that you can't do this on your own. It's a reminder that you were never meant to walk this path alone. The journey with this vision will require you to do hard things, to trust when it feels impossible, to keep moving forward even when it seems like nothing is happening. There will be moments of confusion, of doubt, of feeling like you're walking in circles with no end in sight. And that's okay. The vision will often feel impossible. That's part of the process, because when the vision is bigger than you, when it seems so far out of reach, it forces you to trust God in ways you never would have otherwise. Your destiny, chosen one, is not for the faint of heart. It's not a path meant for those who want easy answers or a comfortable life. This calling requires resilience. It requires strength, and it requires faith. It will challenge everything you thought you knew about yourself, about others, and about the world around you. But in the process of that challenge, in the moments of feeling small, lost, or rejected, God is working in you. He's shaping you for what's to come. This journey is not for those who are just looking to blend in. It's for those who are willing to stand out, who are willing to face the opposition, the rejection, the misunderstanding, and keep walking forward anyway. It's for the ones who can see beyond what the world says is possible, for those who can keep their eyes on the bigger picture even when everything else is falling apart. And what does that mean for you, chosen one? It means that the struggle, the pain, the trials you face, they're all part of the plan. You will be tested. You will be broken down only to be rebuilt stronger, wiser, and more capable. You will face opposition, not because you've done something wrong, but because the enemy sees the power in the vision God has given you, and he will do everything in his power to try to stop it. But let me tell you something. No matter what comes your way, no matter who doubts you, no matter how many times you fall, you are marked for greatness. Your vision has already been written in the stars. The enemy can try to throw obstacles in your path, but he can't erase what God has written for you. The plans that God has for you cannot be thwarted. So when the world tries to tell you that your dreams are too big, that your vision is unrealistic, remember this: it's not your job to make sense of it all. It's your job to trust. Trust that the one who gave you this vision will provide the strength, the wisdom, and the resources you need to walk it out. And when those around you question your dreams, when they try to hold you back, know that it's not your fault. It's not your responsibility to make them understand. Your vision is not for everyone. It's for you. You were born to carry it, and it's going to shape you in ways you never imagined. The journey will be long, but it will be worth it. The pain you experience, the heartache, the loneliness, it's not pointless. It's all part of your training, part of the process that will shape you into the person who can carry the weight of this vision. The more you endure, the more you grow, the stronger you become, the clearer your purpose will become. There will come a day when you look back on all of this, when you see how far you've come, and you'll realize that every step of the journey was necessary. You will see how the pain, the rejection, and the brokenness all came together to make you who you are. You'll see that the vision wasn't just something that was given to you. It was something that was cultivated in you, shaped by your experiences, and refined through every struggle you faced. So, when the weight of the vision feels too much to bear, when the doubt creeps in and you wonder if you can keep going, Remember this, you are carrying something divine. You were marked for greatness before the world even knew your name, and no matter how difficult it gets, you will rise because this vision is bigger than you. It's a promise from God, and He will see it through. There's something incredibly painful about being rejected by the people you love most. It stings deeper than any insult or slight from strangers. When your family, the ones who are supposed to nurture and protect you, turn their backs on you, it feels like your very foundation is crumbling. You start to question everything you're worth, your purpose, your dreams. Why did the people who were supposed to understand you, support you and cheer you on, turn against you? Why did the people you trusted most betray you in the deepest way? If you've ever felt that kind of rejection, that hurt that comes when those closest to you can't or won't accept the call on your life, then you know exactly what Joseph must have felt when his brothers rejected him. Joseph's story isn't just a story from the Bible, it's a story of the chosen ones. Those who are marked by God from birth to do something significant, but whose journey is often filled with misunderstanding and opposition. Joseph had a dream, a divine vision that was so big, so grand, that it made those around him uncomfortable. His brothers saw his dreams not as a blessing, but as a threat. They were jealous of him, angry that he was favored by their father Jacob. And instead of celebrating his dream, they mocked him. They rejected him. They threw him into a pit, intending to leave him there to die. And you, chosen one, have experienced something very similar, haven't you? Maybe not in the literal sense of being thrown into a pit, but you felt that sting of rejection from those who were supposed to love and support you. Maybe it was a family member who couldn't understand your dreams. Maybe it was a friend who turned their back when things got hard. Maybe it was someone who pretended to care but was threatened by your light, your vision, your calling. It hurts. It's one of the deepest pains you can experience. And for a long time you may have wondered why it had to happen. Why did the people who should have understood you and supported you instead turn away or push you aside? Why did they mock your sensitivity, dismiss your dreams, or make you feel like you didn't belong? The answer, as hard as it is to accept, is this: God allowed it. He allowed their rejection because He knew that if they had accepted you, you would have stayed small. He knew that if they had celebrated your dreams, you would have stayed where it was comfortable, where it was safe. Their rejection, their inability to understand you, was part of God's plan to push you forward into your destiny. Just like Joseph's brothers couldn't see his greatness, those around you may not see it either. They may see your potential, but they don't know how to handle it. Your light threatens them. Your calling is too big for them to comprehend. And so instead of embracing it, they reject it. They push you away either consciously or unconsciously because they're not ready to see the greatness in you. But here's the truth, chosen. When their rejection is not your defeat. In fact, it is part of the process of God refining you, preparing you, and moving you toward your true purpose. You were never meant to fit in with those who couldn't see the call of God on your life. You were set apart to rise above, to lead to shine in places where others have failed to see the potential. You might have spent years wondering why you couldn't just be accepted by those you loved, why you had to feel like an outsider in your own family. Maybe you even tried to hide parts of yourself, dim your light, or compromise your dreams just to gain their approval. But hear this: God didn't call you to be ordinary. He called you to be extraordinary. The rejection you've faced is not a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of where they are. They can't understand your dreams because they're not meant to walk the path that you are walking. They may be trapped in their own limitations, their own fears, their own insecurities. But you, chosen one, have been given a vision that requires you to rise above it all. And the very fact that they can't see it, that they can't accept it, is confirmation that your destiny is bigger than what they can handle. Joseph's brothers didn't see his greatness. They saw him as a threat, someone whose future would outshine theirs. They couldn't handle the dream he carried, and so they tried to destroy it. But here's the thing about God's chosen ones. The enemy cannot destroy what God has ordained. Joseph's brothers tried to push him down, but all they did was propel him toward his destiny. When they threw him into the pit, They thought they were ending his story. But what they didn't know is that God was using their rejection to position him for greatness. And that's what's happening with you too. Every time you've been rejected, every time someone has turned their back on you, God has been using it to push you closer to where you need to be. Every betrayal, every false accusation, every misunderstanding is part of God's divine plan to move you forward. He allowed them to reject you because he knew that if you had stayed in their acceptance, you would have stayed stuck. The truth is, if they had accepted you, you would have stayed in the comfort zone, in the place where you didn't have to grow. But God's call on your life is bigger than comfort. It's bigger than the approval of the people who don't see your value. You were made to break free from the limitations of what others think, to break free from the people who don't recognize your potential. You were born to soar, chosen one. And here's something powerful to hold on to. Your rejection is a redirection. God used their rejection to redirect you onto the path he had set before you. Their rejection isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning. Every closed door, every turn of the back, every dismissive word spoken was actually God's way of moving you toward your true destiny. They rejected you, but God is preparing you for something greater. But that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. The pain of rejection, especially from those you love, can be overwhelming. And there will be times when it feels like the sting will never go away. There will be moments when you wonder if you'll ever feel truly accepted, truly seen. But remember this, chosen one, your value does not come from the approval of others. Your worth is not tied to their ability to understand you. Your value is found in the eyes of the one who created you, the one who has called you to something greater. When Joseph was in the pit, he didn't know what would happen next. He didn't know how God would use this rejection for his good. But God had a plan, and the same is true for you. You may not understand why things are happening the way they are right now, but you can trust that God is using this season to mold you, to teach you, and to position you for the future he has planned for you. So don't let their rejection define you. Don't let their inability to see your dreams stop you from pursuing them. You are not meant to stay in their approval. You are meant to rise beyond their limitations, to soar to heights they never imagined possible. Your rejection is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. It's confirmation that your calling is real and that God is working behind the scenes to bring you into the fullness of your destiny. Keep your eyes on the bigger picture. Remember that this journey isn't just about you. It's about fulfilling the calling God placed on your life, the calling that will impact generations to come. Your rejection is only part of the process. God has a bigger plan, and nothing can stop it. Chosen one, you might be in a pit right now, and if you're not, there will be moments in your journey when you will feel like you're in one. The pit is a place of seeming darkness, confusion, and isolation. It's where Joseph found himself after being thrown into the pit by his brothers. But what they didn't understand, what you might not understand yet, is that the pit is not your grave. It is not the end of your story. The pit is the place where your purpose begins. When Joseph's brothers threw him into the pit, they thought they were destroying his dreams. They thought they were ending his future. But what they didn't know, what they couldn't see, was that the pit was the beginning of God's plan unfolding. It was the place where God would begin to mold Joseph, to shape him, to prepare him for something greater than he could have ever imagined. And that's what God is doing with you, chosen one. The pit you find yourself in might feel like a punishment, but it's actually a preparation. It's not where your story ends, it's where it begins. The pit is where you are stripped of everything that's not meant to go with you into your destiny. It's where you stop relying on your own strength and start depending fully on God. It's where your faith is tested and refined. When you're in the pit, you feel alone. You feel forgotten in. You feel like the whole world has turned its back on you, and maybe it has. You might even feel like God has abandoned you, like he's forgotten the promises he made to you. But in that moment, you must trust that God is right there with you, even in the pit. He is not far away. He is not absent. He is working even when you can't see it. He is preparing you for something greater. The pit is a place where you are forced to look within. It's a place where all the distractions of the world fade away and you are left with only God and yourself. It's in the pit that you begin to realize that the dreams you have aren't just about you. They are about something much bigger. They are about fulfilling a divine calling, a purpose that has been written into the very fabric of your life since the beginning. When you're in the pit, it's easy to feel like everything is falling apart. But the truth is, God is using this time to build you up. Every moment you feel broken, every moment you feel lost. He is molding you, refining you, and shaping your character for what's to come. The pit may seem like the lowest point, but it is exactly where God wants to start building you up. God didn't leave Joseph in the pit, and he won't leave you there either. Joseph didn't stay in the pit forever. There was a time when God's favor and purpose pulled him out and set him on a higher path. But before that could happen, Joseph had to face the pit. He had to experience the loneliness, the betrayal, and the isolation. He had to be humbled in the darkness so that when the light came, he would be ready. And that's what's happening with you. The pit is not a punishment, it is a preparation. God is doing something in you that only this season can accomplish. You are being prepared for the next level of your destiny. You are being refined in the fire. Every trial you face, every moment of confusion, every moment of feeling like you've been forgotten, these are all the tools God is using to shape you. In the pit, you might not see the purpose. You might not understand why you're there, but trust that God does. He sees the bigger picture. He knows what's ahead, and even in the darkness, He is working all things together for your good. The pit is a place where your character is being tested, where your faith is being made stronger, and where you are learning to depend on God alone. Joseph could have given up in the pit. He could have allowed his pain and his confusion to consume him, but he didn't. He kept his faith. He trusted that God was with him even in the darkest place. And that's the choice you have too. You can choose to give in to despair, to let the pit break you, or you can choose to rise above it. You can choose to trust that God is doing something in you that will bring forth greatness. The pit is the place where you're stripped down. All your distractions, all your self-reliance, all the things you thought were important begin to fade away. It's a place where you can finally hear the voice of God, where you can finally tune into His presence. And in that place, He will speak to you. He will reveal to you the next step. He will remind you of the purpose He placed in your heart. The pit is the place where your relationship with God grows deeper and stronger than ever before. You might feel like you're stuck in the pit right now. You might feel like you're never going to get out. But remember, chosen one, the pit is not your final destination. It's the starting point. It's the place where God is preparing you for the greatness that is ahead. Just like Joseph was lifted out of the pit and placed in the position of authority, so too will you rise. But before that can happen, you have to go through the pit. You have to let God refine you, reshape you, and mold you into the person who can carry the weight of your destiny. The pit is necessary. It is uncomfortable, yes. It is painful, yes. But it is necessary. It is part of the divine process that will take you from where you are now to where God has called you to be. It is the place where God begins to shape your character, build your faith, and prepare you for the next season of your life. So, when you find yourself in the pit, don't despair. Don't give up. Trust that God is doing something profound in you. He is shaping you. He is preparing you for greatness. And just like Joseph, you will rise out of this season stronger, wiser, and ready for what's to come. The pit is not the end of your story. It is the beginning. There's something about the waiting seasons, the in-between moments that feels almost unbearable. You've had your vision, your dream, and maybe you've even seen glimpses of the future that God has promised you. But then comes the silence. The time when nothing seems to be happening, when you're left wondering if you're on the right path, or if your dreams are just that dreams. The process is real, and it's often difficult. But what you must understand, chosen one, is that these quiet seasons, these seasons of delay, are where the real work happens. They are where God shapes your character, refines your spirit, and prepares you for what's next. When Joseph was in the pit, it felt like he was in the lowest point of his life. And, after being pulled out of the pit, he might have thought things were about to get better, that he would quickly rise to prominence. But instead, Joseph was thrown into a different kind of waiting, the process of being in Potiphar's house, the process of serving as a slave. His dream of greatness seemed further away than ever. He didn't immediately see the palace. Instead, he found himself doing menial work for someone else, facing temptation, dealing with false accusations, and enduring even more rejection. It's in the process that we often question everything. Why did this happen? Why does it feel like nothing is moving forward? Why do things still feel like they're falling apart even after everything you've been through? But let me tell you, chosen one, that the process is necessary. You may not understand it right now, but the time spent in the quiet, hidden places is where God is doing the most important work in you. The process refines you. It prepares you for the weight of the calling on your life. If Joseph had jumped straight from the pit to the palace, he wouldn't have been ready. He wouldn't have had the character or the resilience needed to carry the responsibilities that came with being second in command of an entire nation. The process is where God is working on your heart. It's where He is developing your patience, your endurance, and your trust in Him. When you are walking through the process, it often feels like you are stuck. You may even feel like you've been forgotten, like God has passed over you for someone else. But hear me now. God hasn't forgotten about you. It may feel like He's silent, but He is still working behind the scenes. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean progress isn't being made. In fact, you're probably growing more than you realize. The process is a time of inner growth. It's about building the qualities that will sustain you in the future. You're learning how to handle rejection, how to trust in God's timing, how to overcome temptation, how to keep going when the odds are stacked against you. These lessons are not learned in a moment of triumph, but in the quiet, challenging seasons of life. You learn patience when you have no choice but to wait. You learn to rely on God when you have no other option. You learn to persevere when everything around you is uncertain, and even when it feels like nothing is happening, God is preparing you. He is molding you into the person you need to be to step into your destiny. It's in the process that your character is forged. It's in the process that you become the kind of person who can lead with humility, who can be trusted with authority, who can carry the weight of the calling on your life. The quiet seasons are hard. They test your faith. They challenge you to keep trusting even when you don't see immediate results. But these seasons are not wasted. They are where God is preparing you for something greater. You might feel like you're standing still, but in reality, you are moving forward in ways you can't see yet. Every day spent waiting, every day spent serving, every day spent in obedience is a day closer to the fulfillment of your promise. Joseph didn't know what God was doing during his time in Potiphar's house, but he kept being faithful. He kept trusting. He kept doing the work that was placed before him, even when it felt like it didn't make sense. And then when the time was right, God elevated him. Joseph went from being a slave to ruling over an entire nation. The process prepared him for that moment. Without the process, he wouldn't have had the wisdom, the integrity, or the leadership skills necessary for the role he was about to step into. It's in the waiting seasons that God is preparing you for what's to come. You might not see it yet, but there is a purpose in every moment you spend in the process. One of the hardest parts of the process is feeling like you're invisible. You may look around and see others rising, others moving forward, and you might wonder why it's not your turn yet. But I want to remind you, chosen one, that your time is coming. God's timing is perfect. The process is necessary to prepare you for the responsibility and the influence that is coming your way. You are not being overlooked. You are being prepared. While you're waiting, remember this: God is not wasting your time. Every moment, every step, every difficulty you face is preparing you for the future. Your obedience in the process is what qualifies you for the promotion. It's what sets you up for the purpose that God has for you. The process is not punishment. It is part of God's divine strategy. He is using it to refine you, to equip you, and to get you ready for what's ahead. Trust that God is faithful, even in the silence. Trust that He is working on your behalf, even when it feels like nothing is happening. When you're in the process, it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to feel like you're going in circles, like you're stuck in a holding pattern. But don't give up. Don't lose hope. The waiting is part of the journey. The process is part of God's plan. You are not wasting time. You are being prepared. And here's the beautiful truth. Just like Joseph, God will lift you up at the right time. When the moment comes, everything will fall into place. The people who once overlooked you, the ones who doubted you, will see you rise. They will see the fruit of your labor, the result of your faithfulness in the quiet seasons. But this time, it will be clear that it was God who raised you up, that it was His hand that brought you from the pit to the palace. You may be in the process right now, but you are not stuck. You are being shaped, refined, and prepared for the greatness that lies ahead. The waiting is not in vain. Keep trusting. Keep walking. The time will come when your dreams will be realized and you will step into the fullness of your purpose. Remember, chosen one, God is always working, even in the quiet. Every moment of the process is part of the journey, and every moment is preparing you for the greatness that is to come. There are moments in your life when you feel trapped. You feel confined, imprisoned by circumstances, by misunderstandings, by the weight of things that just don't seem fair. You've endured rejection. You've faced the silence of the waiting season, and now you're in what seems like an even deeper pit, the prison. The space where you are hidden, isolated, and seemingly forgotten. But chosen. One, let me speak this truth to you. The prison is not the end of your story. It's the place where God is refining you. It's the place where He is shaping your spirit for what's ahead. It's the place where your character is forged in the fire of difficulty. Joseph found himself in prison not because he had done something wrong, but because he had been falsely accused. His faithfulness had led him to this place. He had served with integrity in Potiphar's house, and yet the very woman he had served with honor was the one who falsely accused him of a crime he didn't commit, and so Joseph was cast into prison alone and abandoned for something that wasn't his fault. It felt like a blow. It felt like the final chapter of his story. It felt like his dreams had been dashed, his purpose forgotten. And yet the prison was exactly where God needed him to be. You see, God wasn't done with Joseph. He wasn't punishing him. The prison wasn't a place of defeat. It was a place of preparation. It was a place where Joseph's heart and character would be refined for the greater purpose that lay ahead. And the same is true for you, chosen one. When you find yourself in the prison, whether it's a prison of your emotions, your relationships, your career, or your spirit, know that it's not the end. It is part of the process that is refining you, shaping you, and preparing you for your purpose. The prison is a place of confinement. Yes, but it's also a place of inner growth. It's where you are stripped of everything you thought you needed to succeed, your own strength, your own plans, and your own understanding. In the prison, there's no one to turn to but God. There's no one to rely on but Him. And it's in that place of isolation, that place of desperation, that God does His deepest work in you. Joseph could have easily given up in prison. He could have allowed bitterness and resentment to take root in his heart. He could have turned away from God, questioning His faithfulness, wondering why he had been abandoned in the first place. But Joseph didn't do that. Instead, he remained faithful. He chose to serve even in prison. He chose to trust God even when it felt like everything was against him. And here's what's so powerful about Joseph's story. His faithfulness in the prison led to his promotion. While Joseph was in prison, God was working in him. He was learning the lessons he needed to learn. He was becoming the man who could be trusted with influence, authority, and leadership. Joseph didn't waste his time in the prison. He didn't give in to despair. He served those around him. He helped people. He used his gifts even in the midst of his own hardship. And in that process, Joseph's favor with God didn't diminish, it grew. He was given the ability to interpret dreams, and it was through this gift that God would ultimately bring him into the next season of his life. The prison, though it was dark and confining, was the very place that set him up for his future. It was where God gave him the wisdom and discernment he would need to lead the nation in the future. The same is true for you, chosen one. If you find yourself in a season where you feel trapped, isolated, or unjustly treated, don't despair. God is refining you. He is preparing you. He is using this time to develop the inner strength, wisdom, and character that will sustain you when you step into your purpose. Your prison season isn't wasted. It's a time of growth. It's a time when your faith will be tested and proven, when your spirit will be strengthened. Now, I know it's easy to feel forgotten in the prison. It's easy to feel like God has turned away, like he has left you to struggle on your own. But I want to remind you of something crucial. God is with you in the prison. He was with Joseph in the prison, and he is with you too. Even when you can't see him, even when you don't feel his presence, he is right there working in the unseen. He's working in the quiet, hidden places to prepare you for what's next. In fact, sometimes the prison is where we learn to rely on God more deeply than we ever would in times of comfort. When you are surrounded by difficulty, when there's no one to turn to but God, your dependence on him grows. You learn to trust in his timing, his wisdom, and his plan. And it's in that place of total dependence that you are refined and strengthened. Joseph's journey didn't stop in prison. He didn't stay there forever, and neither will you. The prison is not your final destination. It is a temporary place, a season that will pass. The God who allowed you to be in the prison is the same God who will lift you out of it. He is the one who will bring you into the fullness of your purpose. But before that happens, you need the lessons of the prison. You need the refining. You need to develop the resilience, the wisdom, and the humility that will allow you to handle what God has for you in the future. In your own prison, you might not see the way out right now. You might not understand how this season fits into your story, but trust this, it's all part of God's plan. The prison is not punishment, it's preparation. It's a place where your faith is deepened, your spirit is refined, and your dependence on God is solidified. It's the place where you are being shaped into the person who will carry the weight of the calling God has placed on your life. So, what do you do in the prison you serve? You trust. You wait on God. You keep being faithful even when it's hard. You keep doing what you can even in the midst of confinement. You keep using your gifts and talents even when no one seems to notice. Because the truth is, God sees. He sees your faithfulness. He sees your heart, and he is preparing you for the promotion that's coming. He is preparing you for the position that he has already ordained for you. In the prison, God is shaping your heart, sharpening your discernment, and strengthening your character. He is preparing you to handle the influence and authority that he will eventually give you. So trust him. Don't give up in the prison. Don't let the circumstances convince you that you're stuck forever. You are being refined for something greater. God is with you, even in the prison. And soon, just like Joseph, you will rise out of it and step into your purpose. Your prison season isn't the end, it's just a part of the journey. Keep trusting, keep believing, and keep moving forward because your breakthrough is coming. You've walked through the pit. You've endured the process. You've survived the prison. You've felt the sting of rejection and the weight of silence. But now, chosen one, your time is coming. You've been faithful in the hidden places. You've trusted God in the quiet and painful seasons. And now, just like Joseph, there will come a moment when God will elevate you, when he will bring you out of the shadows and place you in the light. The moment you're seen, the moment you're recognized, the moment everything you've been through will begin to make sense. Joseph's time in the prison wasn't wasted. Even when it seemed like he was stuck, God was working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail of his destiny. And one day, when the timing was right, God moved Joseph from the prison to the palace. It all began with a single moment, the moment he was recognized. When Pharaoh had a troubling dream that no one could interpret, Joseph was remembered. His gift, which had been hidden in the prison, was suddenly called upon. It was his moment to step forward, his moment to fulfill the purpose that had been waiting for him all along. That moment of recognition didn't come because Joseph forced it. It came because God had prepared him. It came because Joseph had been faithful even when it felt like no one was watching. It came because Joseph had trusted the process, kept his integrity, and continued to serve. The same is true for you, chosen one. There will come a moment when everything you've been through, the pit, the process, the prison, will suddenly make sense. The right doors will open at the right time, and you will be recognized for who you truly are. You will be seen for the gifts you carry, the purpose you've been called to fulfill. But here's something you need to understand. That moment of recognition is not about you. It's not about your glory, your promotion, or your status. It's about God's glory. It's about God fulfilling His purpose in you. Joseph didn't rise to power for his own benefit. He rose because God had a purpose for him that was bigger than himself. Joseph was called to save nations, to help his family, and to lead with wisdom and humility. And your elevation, chosen one, will be for the same purpose, to impact others, to lead with grace, and to fulfill the calling that God has placed on your life. The moment of recognition is often a surprise. It's not something you can plan or force. It's not something that happens because you're trying to prove yourself or make your dreams come true. No, it happens when you are faithful in the hidden seasons, when you trust God, even when it feels like nothing is happening. God sees your faithfulness in the quiet moments, and He rewards it at the right time. Just like Joseph, who was remembered at the exact moment he was needed, your time will come. But understand, this chosen one, God's timing is perfect. There will be moments when you feel like you're waiting forever. You might wonder why your breakthrough hasn't come yet. You might question why it seems like everyone else is moving ahead while you feel stuck. But remember, God is never late. He sees the bigger picture, and He is preparing you for the very moment that will launch you into your purpose. When it's your time to be recognized, everything will fall into place. You won't have to force it. You won't have to chase after it. God will bring you to the place where you are seen and recognized for who you truly are. And when He does, there will be no denying that it's His hand at work. Joseph didn't try to force his way into the palace. He didn't try to manipulate his circumstances or demand that his dreams come true. He served faithfully where he was. He used his gifts to help others, even in the prison. And when the time came, God opened the door. When Pharaoh needed someone to interpret his dream, Joseph was the one God chose. The same will be true for you. When the time comes for you to step into your destiny, the doors will open. Your gifts will make room for you. You will be recognized for the calling that God placed on your life, and everything you've been through will have prepared you for this moment. But this moment of recognition is also a moment of responsibility. Just like Joseph, when you are elevated, it will not be for your personal gain. It will be for the good of others. Joseph was given power, but that power wasn't just for his benefit. It was to save lives, to lead people, and to fulfill God's plan for his life. And when you step into your purpose, chosen one, it won't be about seeking personal glory. It will be about using your influence and authority to serve others, to help those in need, and to bring glory to God. You've been called to something much greater than yourself. Your recognition, your elevation, your breakthrough. It's not just for you. It's for the people you are meant to lead, the lives you are meant to touch, and the legacy you are meant to leave behind. Your dreams are not just about your own success. They are about impacting the world around you. They are about fulfilling the divine purpose that God has set before you. When Joseph stood before Pharaoh and interpreted his dream, it wasn't just a moment of personal glory. It was the moment that set the stage for the salvation of nations. It was the moment when Joseph's gifts were put to use for a greater purpose. And in the same way, when God brings you into your moment of recognition, it will be for a higher purpose. It will be for the kingdom of God. It will be to help others, to lead with humility, and to bring glory to the one who has called you. So, chosen one, when your moment of recognition comes, don't look at it as a time to elevate yourself. Look at it as an opportunity to elevate others, to serve others, and to fulfill God's plan for your life. Your dreams are not just about you, they are about the world that God is calling you to change. They are about the people you are meant to impact, the generations you are meant to lead, and the legacy you are meant to leave behind. And when that moment comes, when you are finally seen, when the doors open, and when you step into the position you've been destined for, you will look back and see how every step of your journey has been part of God's perfect plan. You will see how the pit, the process, and the prison were all part of the preparation for your purpose. You will see how God used every painful moment, every moment of rejection, every season of waiting to shape you into the person who could handle the responsibility of the calling He placed on your life. So, chosen one, when the time comes, when you are recognized, step into it boldly. Step into it, knowing that God has been with you every step of the way. Step into it, knowing that you are not there by your own strength, but by the grace of God. And when you rise, rise with the heart of a servant, ready to use your gifts and influence for the good of others. Your recognition is not just for you, it's for the world that needs you. Your moment is coming, and when it does, everything will change. But it's not just a change in your circumstances. It's a change in your purpose, your influence, and your calling. And when you rise, just like Joseph, you will not only rise for yourself, you will rise to serve, to lead, and to make a difference in the world. One of the hardest parts of your journey, chosen one, is learning to forgive those who have hurt you, especially those who are supposed to love you, protect you, and stand by your side. Forgiving those who have betrayed you, rejected you, or abandoned you is not easy. It goes against everything in your heart when you've been mistreated by people who should have been your support system. When you've been let down by those you trusted the most, forgiveness can feel impossible. But here's a truth that God wants to reveal to you today. Forgiveness is the key to unlocking your destiny. Joseph's journey would not have been complete without the moment of forgiveness. After all he had endured, being sold by his brothers, being falsely accused by Potiphar's wife, being thrown into prison, he could have held on to bitterness. He could have allowed anger and resentment to take root in his heart. When he finally encountered his brothers again, the ones who had betrayed him, the ones who had caused his pain, Joseph had the power to exact revenge. He could have made them suffer. He could have thrown them in prison. He could have rejected them as they had rejected him. But Joseph didn't choose revenge. Instead, he chose forgiveness. He chose mercy. He chose to bless those who had cursed him, and through this choice, Joseph showed us one of the most powerful acts of leadership, the ability to forgive, not because those who hurt you deserve it, but because you know that forgiveness is the only way to move forward. Joseph's story wasn't just about his rise to power, it was about reconciliation. It was about healing the wounds of the past. It was about breaking the cycle of generational hurt and choosing to be the one who leads with grace, mercy, and compassion. When Joseph said, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good," he wasn't just expressing his personal healing. He was showing us the path to freedom, the path of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not easy, and it is not a one-time event. It's a process. It's a decision you have to make every day. You have to choose to forgive even when the pain is fresh. You have to choose to forgive when you feel like you've been wronged, betrayed, and forgotten. But the truth is, holding on to unforgiveness only hurts you. It keeps you stuck in the past. It keeps you chained to the people and the moments that hurt you. And as much as you might think that holding on to resentment will make you feel better, it only poisons your spirit and prevents you from moving into the fullness of your calling. Forgiveness isn't about denying the hurt. It's not about pretending that what was done to you wasn't wrong. It's not about excusing the behavior of those who hurt you. It's about releasing the hold that the hurt has on your life. It's about choosing to trust God with your pain, to trust that He will heal your wounds and that He will handle the justice so you don't have to carry the weight of unforgiveness. In fact, when you forgive, you are choosing to let go of the past. You are choosing to stop carrying the emotional weight that has been holding you back. You are choosing to free yourself from the anger, bitterness, and pain that would otherwise keep you trapped. Forgiveness releases you. It frees your heart, your spirit, and your mind so you can move forward into the destiny God has for you. Joseph didn't just forgive his brothers because he was a good person. He forgave them because he understood that forgiveness was the key to his destiny. It was the key to his freedom. When you forgive, you're not only releasing the person who wronged you, you're releasing yourself from the power they hold over your life. Forgiveness is an act of spiritual freedom. Now you may be thinking, how can I forgive those who have hurt me so deeply? How can I forgive those who have betrayed me, abandoned me, or lied about me? The truth is, you can't do it on your own. You need God's help. Forgiveness is not something that can come from your own strength. It is a supernatural act, one that can only happen when you surrender your pain to God and allow Him to heal your heart. You might need to ask God to help you release the anger, the hurt, and the bitterness. You might need to ask Him to help you see the people who have wronged you through His eyes, eyes of mercy, eyes of grace. It's only through God's love that you can forgive. And when you allow Him to work in your heart, He will give you the strength to forgive even the deepest wounds. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to forget. It doesn't mean that everything will be okay immediately. But it means that you are choosing to stop allowing the offense to control you. You are choosing to let go of the need for revenge and to trust that God will handle the situation. Forgiveness sets you free from the pain, free from the anger, and free from the bitterness that keeps you chained to the past. And as you begin to forgive chosen one, you will find that your heart begins to heal. You will find that the wounds from the past no longer have the same power over you. You will find that you are able to move forward into the future with a heart that is unburdened by the weight of unforgiveness. Forgiveness is a step toward healing, and healing is what allows you to step fully into the purpose God has for you. The beauty of forgiveness is that it doesn't just heal you, it also brings about reconciliation. When you choose to forgive, you open the door for restoration. Joseph's relationship with his brothers was never the same after he forgave them. They were able to come together to be healed and to move forward. Forgiveness brought about the restoration of his family, and it allowed God's plan for his life to unfold. And it's the same for you. When you forgive, you open the door for God to restore what has been broken. You allow Him to heal relationships that may have been damaged by betrayal or hurt. You allow Him to work in the hearts of those who have wronged you and in your own heart so that there can be peace and healing. Forgiveness doesn't mean that everything will be fixed instantly, but it allows God to begin the work of restoration. In your journey, there will always be moments when you'll be tempted to hold on to bitterness, to nurse old wounds, and to replay the hurt in your mind. But remember, chosen one, that God has called you to be free. He has called you to walk in His grace and His mercy, and He is asking you to extend that same grace and mercy to others. So today, choose forgiveness. Choose to release the hurt. Choose to let go of the pain. Not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve to be free. You deserve to walk into your purpose without carrying the burden of unforgiveness. And remember, God is with you in this. He will heal your wounds. He will give you the strength to forgive, and He will use your story to bring healing to others. Forgiveness is a powerful tool in the hands of the chosen. It is the key that unlocks your destiny. And just like Joseph, when you forgive, you will find that God can take the broken pieces of your story and turn them into something beautiful. If there's one thing you've learned on this journey, chosen one, it's that your life has never been a random series of events. From the moment you were born, God had a purpose for you, a plan that would shape not only your life but the lives of those around you. Every moment, every season, the good and the bad, has been a part of that plan. And yes, even the pain, the rejection, the isolation, the struggles, they were all part of something greater. Your pain was never in vain. It was all working together to shape you into the person you are becoming. The story God is writing with your life is far from over, and the best part is that your pain was never the end. It's the bridge to your purpose. Joseph's story is the ultimate reminder of how God uses pain for a greater purpose. His life was filled with highs and lows, moments of incredible favor and deep betrayal, yet through it all, God was orchestrating every event. Joseph's dreams were big, and his brothers couldn't understand them. His father's favor felt like a curse, leading to his brothers throwing him into a pit and then selling him into slavery. He faced rejection, false accusations, and imprisonment. His life could have easily been a tragedy, a wasted opportunity, a broken story. But God had a different plan. He was using Joseph's pain to shape him into the leader who would save nations. And your life, chosen one, is no different. The pain you faced, the moments of heartbreak, the feeling of being lost or forgotten, they are not the end of your story. In fact, they are the beginning of something far greater. You've been through battles that would have broken others, but here you are still standing. Why? Because the purpose on your life is too strong for the pain to hold you down. Your pain is not your purpose, it's the refining process. It's what God uses to mold you into who you need to be for the mission He's called you to. Pain is never something we seek. It's uncomfortable, hard, and at times feels unbearable. But God never wastes a hurt. He never allows you to go through something without a greater purpose on the other side. Just like Joseph, every season of pain in your life has been preparation for the great calling that's on your life. Every rejection has redirected you. Every betrayal has built your resilience. Every lonely season has deepened your dependence on God. And now, you are being shaped into the person who will carry the weight of your destiny. A destiny that isn't just for your benefit, but for the world around you. Look back for a moment. Think of the pain you've endured, the moments when you didn't think you would make it. It's easy to look at those times and feel defeated. But what if I told you that those very moments are the ones that have been preparing you for greatness? What if I told you that everything you've been through has been the training ground for the role you were born to fulfill? Joseph didn't know why his brothers rejected him, why his father's favor became a burden, why he was thrown into a pit. He didn't know why he was falsely accused and sent to prison. But God knew. God had a plan all along. Every rejection was a redirection. Every painful moment, every time he was knocked down, was leading him toward a future he couldn't yet understand. And so it is with you. You may not understand the pain in your life right now, but God does. He sees the bigger picture. He knows that this pain is not your final destination, it's the path to your purpose. And the beauty of it all is that your pain will be used for good. The same Joseph who was betrayed by his brothers was the one who later saved them. The same Joseph who was thrown into a pit was the one who was elevated to the palace to lead and provide for an entire nation. The same Joseph who was isolated in prison became the leader who changed the course of history. And your story, chosen one, will follow a similar arc. What has broken you will be the very thing that makes you. Your pain has purpose. It will fuel your passion. It will give you the wisdom and compassion needed to lead others through their own struggles. You are not going through this alone. You are not just surviving your pain, you are being prepared by God. Every difficulty is a divine appointment, a necessary step to becoming the person who can carry the calling on your life. God is not wasteful. He doesn't let you experience something without using it for His glory and your good. You may not see it now, but everything you've gone through has been part of a grand divine plan to shape you into a leader, a healer, a builder, someone who will impact the world in a way only you can. Joseph's story is a story of redemption. What was meant for his destruction became the platform for his elevation. And just like Joseph, God is taking every setback, every moment of betrayal, and turning it into a setup for something greater. What others intended to harm you, God will use to prepare you. Your journey matters because your journey is designed to bring healing to others, to deliver the message of God's faithfulness, to show the world that He works all things together for good. So, chosen one, when the pain gets overwhelming, when you feel like giving up, remember this: your pain is not without purpose. It's shaping you, it's refining you, it's making you into the person who can fulfill your divine calling. You may not understand the reason for the pain, but God does. And in the end, He will turn it all for your good. The world will need your story. The world will need your resilience. The world will need your wisdom, your strength, your grace. You've been called to lead others through their own pain because you've walked through it yourself. Your experience will give you the tools to speak to those who are suffering, to guide them out of their darkness, to show them that there is hope on the other side. Just as Joseph was able to save his family and an entire nation, God will use your story to heal and restore. Your purpose is far greater than just your personal success. Your purpose is to be a vessel for God's glory. And that purpose is being refined in every trial, in every season of pain. God is preparing you to be a light to others. He is preparing you to lead with humility, wisdom, and strength. Strength that has been tested in the fire. Your pain will be the source of your power, your passion, and your purpose. So, chosen one, never underestimate the power of your journey. Never underestimate the strength you have gained through every trial. Every challenge, every betrayal, every painful moment is preparing you for a greater purpose. And one day when you look back, you will see how each step, each season has been part of the grand design that God has for your life. You will see that your journey was never wasted. It was always leading you to something bigger than you ever imagined. Your purpose is unfolding, and the world will see the beautiful result of God's work in your life. The pain you've experienced is not the end. It's the beginning of something greater, and it's all part of God's perfect plan for you.